If I were to ask you who is the exact opposite of Guts in Berserk, who would you say? I would guess the majority of viewers would say Griffith, and you're not exactly wrong. However, I found throughout the series someone who is the exact antithesis of Guts. Judging by the thumbnail, have you guessed who it is?
Who else but Corkus?
That's exactly right. Today we're going to be talking about Corkus and Guts and their character dynamic towards each other. Guts, throughout the time that he joined the Band of the Hawk, has always been a very silent and stoic protagonist. Despite that, Guts still shows compassion in many different scenes throughout the series, and he finds direction in life working with the members of the Band of the Hawk. Guts is never one to flaunt his accomplishments or flex on anybody. He's put his life on the line numerous times, all for what he believes is right. If Guts believes that something is worth doing, he will die for it, no matter what. Guts is debatably the strongest and bravest man shown throughout the entire series of Berserk. Even when he's scared, even when he's shaking, he puts his life on the line and stands up for what he believes in, regardless of what other people think. Bravery isn't the absence of fear, but the facing of it. And oh boy, is Guts brave. This man has balls, let me tell you. After facing over 100 men to one, battling demonic creatures that want to kill you, eat you, or, probably have sex with you, I can't even, adequately put into words the courage that this man has. And it's so admirable for so many different ways, but that's just Guts for you. And on the other side of the spectrum, we have Corkus. Oh, and he is an entirely different animal altogether. Yeah, Corkus is like the Buggy the Clown of the Berserk universe in many ways. He's pretty much false bravado personified. He's extremely chauvinistic, he likes to hype himself up to be something like a strong warrior, which he's clearly not. And at the end of the day, talk is very cheap. All of Corkus's lip service goes nowhere. He claims that he was supposed to be the one to beat Pazuzu at the beginning of the series. We also see him brag to the noblewomen about his alleged strength. And through all of his talk in lip service, Corkus has nothing to show for it. The fact is, Corkus is a coward. There are many times in the series where Corkus had the chance to step up and be a leader and take charge of the operation. However, we never see this happen. What we see instead is Corkus's cowardly nature at the forefront. Despite his cowardice, would it be a surprise if I told you that Corkus is one of the most relatable characters in all of Berserk? And no, I'm not kidding. Because Corkus spends most of his time throughout the Golden Age arc antagonizing Guts, it's easy to view him as nothing more than a shallow hater. However, buried deep under his spiteful personality, we get to view certain lines of dialogue that truly do humanize Corkus in many different ways. Even though Corkus is a grade A douchebag, I would still say that he's one of the few people who can give Guts a reality check. When Guts was complaining about having to watch over the nobles, Corkus slams him. He presents the naked truth to Guts, saying that they've had to toil and battle for years to earn the prestige to gain this opportunity, and Guts, instead of fighting back, agrees with him. I don't think I necessarily have to explain this, but Guts is exceptional. He's the outlier in the Berserk universe, clearly not normal and made to be something much more. On the other side of the coin, we have Corkus, who represents the pessimistic everyday man. Even though Corkus isn't portrayed to be the most likable character, you can damn well relate to it. When the King of Midland declared that the Band of the Hawk were going to become nobles, I felt genuinely happy for them. And this scene was just so relatable for me, because at the end of the day, when the journey's all said and done, we want to be able to retire, to take the pension and fade away into retirement. We want to be able to enjoy our lives. And Corkus in particular makes this very clear to Guts. He absolutely berates him, saying that he's a fool for wanting to leave the Band of the Hawk and pursue other ambitions. After Corkus is finished with his tirade, Guts utters just a few very simple words.
What about you? Are you the only man to never dream?
What? Cat! I've had enough! If you say another word, I think I'll kill myself! Good night!
Corkus is clearly taken aback by these words, and it's revealed by Judo that Corkus once, too, had a dream. Corkus had once led his own small band of mercenaries not too long ago, but like most things, his dream, too, was absorbed by Griffith. And this is why Corkus hates Guts, because Guts has his own free will to pursue his own ambitions and his own dreams, whereas Corkus has only been living for one man's dream, which is Griffith, and his own dreams were absorbed by him. So Corkus has been living his entire life for another person. And as Guts gets ready to depart the Band of the Hawk for one final time, Corkus steps up to the plate with an earful of bitching. Kentaro Miura quite literally has Corkus break the fourth wall, as Corkus tells Guts that he's always hated his face, like he's the only one who's been walking around with some path of profound suffering that nobody could ever understand. Corkus proceeds to tell Guts that he's not special, and that he'll never be like Griffith. So despite Corkus being an absolute hater in the scene, just as all the other times he's yelled at Guts, we notice that Guts never gets angry or physical with him in any way, and Guts seems to always take all of Corkus's criticism somewhat seriously. The way these two respond to each other is just another reason why I love this interesting contrast between Corkus and Guts. One year after Guts' departure from the Band of the Hawks, we learn that over 1/3 of the band have become deserters shortly after Griffith's arrest. And yet, we still see Corkus here, still complaining, still bitching, but he's still here. Now at this point, we have to ask ourselves, why would Corkus still be here? To put it simply, it's because of his unwavering belief in Griffith. To Corkus, Griffith is considered someone special, someone who stands above all others. Corkus is weak and he can't stand on his own, so he puts all of his dreams and ambitions into one hope of Griffith, which makes it all the more depressing when Griffith betrays him. While Corkus isn't driving the plot of this story, his importance throughout the series cannot be understated. Corkus gives us a look into the mind of your everyday mercenary. It's easy to see Corkus as nothing more than a shallow hater throughout the series, but in reality, he's a very well-written and deep, complex character. Whether you loved Corkus or hated him, I think we can all agree that what happened to him at the Eclipse was... oh my god, this guy, my man Corkus, did not deserve that. I am sorry. At the end of the day, Corkus wasn't able to alter the fate of causality, and he suffered along with the rest of the Hawks. Through Corkus's death, however, it is shown that he was of key importance to Griffith. We know this from when the Slug Count would not sacrifice his daughter, and in order to make a sacrifice to the God Hand, it has to be somebody of significant importance. So right there, it's undisputable that Corkus was extremely important to Griffith, and he did care about him to some extent. So, my takeaway from Corkus, I actually feel really bad for the guy. I understand that he's written as a character who's supposed to be disliked, but even so, I just feel awful for him. He was right there at the finish line, but he just couldn't put it together, okay? And that has to be one of the worst things imaginable, having all of that fame, the fortune, and the wealth within your grasp, and then just losing all of it. Although, if he had to go out by the Eclipse, I guess he went out the ideal way that he would have wanted to, which was, being suffocated by the big titty monster. At the end of the day, at least Corkus didn't go out the way Gaston did, because they did him, horrifically dirty. No one dies like Gaston, am I right?
In a spitting match, nobody spits like Gaston!
Absolutely brutal, am I right? Hope that wasn't too soon for you all. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Took a little while to make, but if you guys enjoy it, I hope you can like and subscribe. Maybe share it, show a little love. Talk about the old cork dork himself. Yeah, thanks for watching. Hope you guys all have a great day.